It could be sometime soon.
Okay. Let me know when.
Well, I don't know, but
Does live.
here we are.
All right.
Could be sometime soon.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to YouTube Live with William Linville. This month, we wanted to announce our upcoming course, our totally new course. It's over 3 months, starts March 12th, called Expanding Your Presence Course, Being and Becoming Your True Self. And the unique thing about this course compared to any other course we've done is it's going to be totally immersive, interactive during the 3-hour events twice a month, and also during the whole month. It's an opportunity really to accelerate the embodiment of your true self. Do you have anything else you want to share about that, William?
Yeah, it's an acceleration, accelerations, activation, amplification, and also, it's waking you up to all these different levels and even layers of yourself, and also waking you up and assisting you to arise more and more, to come to clarity with all the stuff that's going on within you, through you, and for you, that is really not yourself. And taking heart, opening up, and really being able to see and also come to terms with, you as creator are waking up, remembering. You already are that you are. And then you start to look at all the stuff that you've bought into, all the stuff that's been implemented, everything from really for separation to now, that's been playing out, affecting you, that's still, unfortunately, still affecting this live stream. You as creator are commanding that this manifestation take place, this, that take place, the other take place. You're welcoming things in, on and on. And this program is also to get rid of the stuff that's keeping it from fully coming into your live stream, as well as for fully arising, unfolding, and accelerating within and through your live stream. Now, the other part, it's kind of fun when you step up for a minute and you take a breath, and you ask yourself, why not me? Many dear ones get really wrapped up in comparisons. Many dear ones get wrapped up and say, well, Judy down the street has blah, 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 or Billy Bob over there, well, he's experiencing blah, blah, blah. Well, Louisa over there is enjoying the beloved of her heart. Well, Carl over there, man, they look more joyful than ever. They have more abundance than whatever. And why is it that I keep being passed over for promotions? Why is this tier one seem to have all the luck? Why is it that this one over here, why is it that they're the CEO and I'm not? When we all step back for a moment and take a breath, let's all be literal. Every dear one on this planet is creator incarnate. Now, when we go there together, we have our walks to walk. We all are waking up, accelerating, emanating, vibrating faster and faster. But then, why does this facilitator have a full schedule? Why does that one over there have a one-on-one every 6 years, or whatever it may be, from a perceptual linear time continuum? Well, this is where we start really stepping back, getting to the heart of what is really happening for you and within you, and also assisting with you, your integrity, your sincerity, your purity, and then going beyond all these bogus comparisons, but really starting to wake up that, I too am creator incarnate. I too can experience whatever I experience, and more of what I enjoy, more of what I love in a body on a planet, rather than taking scraps or whatever. And also being very true to yourself, truthful, and the highest of integrity with yourself, mind, body, and spirit, which in turn is going to affect, and which is one of your whole exponential world, internal and external, your mind, your body, and you, where we're digging. I'll say we're going deeper, but it's not deeper like there's some hidden whatever inside of yourself. It's all the stuff that sometimes are more obvious, sometimes you're more oblivious to. No one's pulling the strings, no one's holding you prisoner, but it's all the stuff that you're becoming more ready, willing, able, and most importantly, willing to see and to be done with.
Awesome, William. We have a question that was written in. Dear William, my left thumb joint has hurt for over 2 months. First, it got a little better, but now it's getting worse. Is it arthritis or something else? What is there to do? Thank you. And the lovely Universalis family very much for your great work.
What it looks like is worries, frustration, overwhelming burden. Now we can all give it the name arthritis. So let's just call it Arthur, the inflammation of a joint. I mean, it's not a big deal, but let's take the tip of your left thumb. Just take a deep breath, and on the exhale, just take the tip of the left thumb, bend the tip, squeezing the tip of the thumbnail, gently bending the end of the thumb with the right hand. Not trying to pull it off, just enough where we're tugging and holding, squeezing and bending right at the tip of the thumb to start really opening up, even all the way through the radius and the ulna, and just letting the whole area, circulation, blood flow, nervous system, the carpal tunnels, to really start recirculating, re-energizing, reopening. And I would have you do this personally with every one of your fingers. But after we're done with the thumb, let's go ahead and hold the thumb in the right hand like this, gently taking the right thumb into the joint where the left thumb connects to the hand. Gently tug, hold, and stimulating with the tip of the right thumb into the joint. Pull a little bit, hold. And then coming around here, pressing and holding. You can grab on to where you can actually, you're pushing into the web, a little almost to the web between the first finger and the thumb, to start really bringing in more and more life force. And you can actually start to feel the joint separate more and more. Now, bring your hand back around, putting it the right thumb right here, the other fingers just squeezing right there. If you go study meridians, it's called the thumb to the lung, or the lung to the thumb. So let's just squeeze right here with that finger, and it'll be sensitive and right there, because it's also part of your lung meridian. And let's just hold, take a nice slow breath in through your nose. Nice deep exhale. Just letting the area start to relax, open up. Of course, it's going to be sensitive, but it's only sensitive because the area has been out. And if you want to be creative, you can follow it all the way up your arm, through your shoulder, all the way to the left lung. And it's fun because you can send it from the thumb all the way back down to this area. Then let's take the next finger, tug, pinch, and hold, just like we did with the thumb. Tug, pinch, and hold. If you want to go further, take your right hand, put the thumb right here, right between the first and second, well, I guess 1, 2, between the second and third phalanges, because the thumb I would still call a phalange. Press and hold, or you can bring it this way. Stretch and hold. But you also want to do it this way to get the thumb separated. And you really want to start to feel the energy flow moving all the way through that area. So you can start to feel the energy flow, because you got to remember arthritis, we can go through genetics, we can go through blah, 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 blah. But only thing that really means is repetitive movement to the point where that part of the body, the meridian and that part of the body is not getting constant energetic flow. So what happens, just like with any organ, I mean, kidneys included, when you get overly emotional, bam, the kidney meridian goes out and you re-stimulate it and get it back on track. And when it's out long enough, yeah, you're going to start to have complications. Now, this does not happen overnight. This has to do with money. It has to do with relationship. It has to do with friendships. It has to do with family. So once we can take a breath, just re-stimulate these areas, reopen them. And I would have you do the both on both hands, and each finger all the way down to the little finger, go wee, 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 all the way over to the other hand, and all that fun stuff. And into where you can start to feel it in your forearm, and even stimulating between the radius and the ulna in the forearms, right here and right here between the two bones, just to really get everything reopened. But then sharing with yourself that, yeah, right now it's my turn. It's my turn to succeed, my turn to enjoy, and just letting all the buildup of worries and frustrations and unnecessary worries and frustration, because frustration and worries are totally unnecessary. It's like a puppy dog running, chasing its tail. It gets you nowhere really, really quick. Because we can all sit here and worry and go in circles until we're all drained, or we can take a breath. This is where it's important. It's kind of like with this course that we're going to be holding coming up. It's like, okay, I can worry, or I can share with myself right now. Mind, you know what? It's going to be what it's going to be. You know what? Mind? It is what it is. You know what, mind? I'm fine, you're fine, all is well. You know what, body? You're fine, I'm fine, all is well. And I want you to sit with it for a moment, that mind, it just is. Well, what if there's a tornado? What if there's a flood? What if there's a avalanche? What if there's a volcano? What if there's a sinkhole underneath my house and we're all going to fall in and perish? Oh, all right, what if there's not? And just sit with that for a moment, all the way to, well, it is what it is. It will be what it will be. And just for a moment, well, what if we can't make our bills? Well, what if you can? Well, higher levels, universe, manifest level, show me. You present the opportunities. I will walk through them. I'll show up. Now, that also means, you leave the house in the morning. You just don't sit there waiting for someone to knock on the door and hand you a lottery ticket. Yeah, we all have our own walks to walk, which brings the practical, logical mind into it to become available. But with this, it's you can feel that. And a lot of dear ones are for that. A lot of dear ones are against it. But it's not that they're really against it, it's that their ego wants something to bite into. And we're taking all the toys away from the ego, because the ego is the part that got you into the fix in the first place.
Our next question is, William, I wonder about the Taoist philosophies that talk about achieving immortality. Is achieving immortality possible? And in what sense, spiritual or physical?
Well, it's a funny one, because right now, I guarantee you, every dear one on this planet that's ever been and ever will be is eternal. That was easy. when we go into the body, you know, you look at the body, ideally in the body, whether it be Taoist, whether it be Hinduism, Christianity, whether it be any of these old belief systems, there's a point where, you know, for eons, whether it be the Romans, Roman Catholics, on and on, there's been this search for a movie came back out in the 80s about it, searching for the Fountain of Youth. Now that movie was a little bit more action-packed. You know, I think it was called The Raiders of the Lost Ark, or the Ark of the Covenant. And now from here, yes, I would say, yeah, physically speaking, the body eventually is going to have an expiration date. It is what it is. The only thing that can change that is when you fully marry with your higher self, your creator consciousness. The only thing that can change that as well is you go beyond that to fully marrying with your light bodies. And when you're marrying with your light bodies, it's speeding up the vibratory levels in frequencies of megahertz within the physical body, which is the speed in which the cells are vibrating. They speed up and speed up and speed up. And on the other side, you're slowing down and slowing down and slowing down, attempting to slow down to a certain point where your vibratory levels, you can actually fit yourself, the body speeding up, you're slowing down, to merge and find a middle point with the body, and then you integrate within it, and then you start accelerating in vibrational frequencies and megahertz of light. It starts to merge and marry with your light bodies to where eventually your body is speeding up to literally the speed of light. Now, from there, that's where you hear about living on prana. It's where you start hearing more about bilocating, teletransporting. And I have to say, yeah, it's been done many times. But now, you know, when we look at eternity, you know, like eternal immortality, the only catch I find there, to answer your question, yes, but to answer the other part of it, you do reach an end of how far you can really go and evolve in the human species. And you, for yourself, as yourself, you will, mark my words, you as creator are going to desire or just want to go further. You're a constant evolving being that, going back full circle, it's creator to the beginning of humanity, to the beginning of this planet, solar system, Milky Ways, and many others. The whole point of the whole journey was creator splitting itself off to learn more about itself by experiencing itself in all of its multitudes of facets. Then that reaches an end, another coming home of all of its facets, and then creating something new. So, you know, we're all one, on and on. I mean, there's a certain amount of truth to that, although I'm not you and you're not me. The only truth about it would be that we all come from the same source.
Right. Our next question is, William, would you speak about our reason for being here in a body? Is it to express or to experience or both?
Number one, as it is now, it is to wake up. Then it is to embody and integrate. Then it is to emanate and express. Not about everyone's going to be having seminars or whatever. No, that's way out there. It's about everyone in their own unique uniqueness, frequencies, tones, clarity, coloresquenesses, and otherwise, each and every dear one on the planet has a different frequency, a different pitch, a different color, and a different tone. Now, dear ones have eons and eons of data and information from any and every experience they've ever experienced since first separation to now to share, to express, to gather, to remember, but also to bring together to the whole. Now, at this point, yeah, you're waking up. Yeah, you're reclaiming the rest of yourself. You're waking up to yourself. You're stepping out of all the, let's call it for sake of word, shadows. We're stepping out of all of the cobwebs, or rubbing all of them out of our eyes. We're stepping out of all the dungeons, cellars, all of your incarnational, dimensional planes, and you're bringing all of yourself right here, right now, wide awake, fully alert. You're stepping out of all vows. You're stepping out of all contracts, because in all reality, all those are null and void. No one on this planet literally has a contract anymore, period. There's many still perceive they do, but you got to listen, just like an old echo behind them that are still playing out this echo, that echo, but no serious magnetic substance holding that echo into reality anymore. So you're arising and arising from that magnetic density. Lights are coming on, opening up from the middle of Africa and the jungles all the way to those at the next enlightenment event. You know, dear ones are waking up everywhere. It doesn't matter what you've read, doesn't matter if you can even read. It's still happening.
Thank you.
Absolutely, buddy.
William, my dad left the planet a month ago. This is from Stefano. Has he made a full transition? If not, how can I assist?
Yes, he has.
Okay.
And the best thing you can do is to sit back, take a breath, put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, focus either on your nose or your pineal pituitary gland. Just feel and welcome in and feel and connect with that love, that light, the presence in which you are. And the only thing left here is really sending forth honor, completion, and gratitude towards the beautiful dear one that played your dad, as well as the one that has played your mom. And this is where, just for the sake of clearing up any confusion, this is more about you, but it doesn't matter if they're in a body or out of body at this point. It matters that you're setting them free, which in turn is setting yourself free. And letting more of yourself come in to fill up those spaces and places where at one time they still had genetically and even through your DNA, emotional calibration lattice work, and the egoic structure, a hold still within you. It's like an intermeshing.
Next question is, William, would you speak about world events like wars in Ukraine or threats of war by different countries, China, Taiwan, US, and maybe the recent spy balloon? What's your perspective on what's going on with all these warlike activities?
Yeah, not to reiterate the same thing, but it's kind of fun and pretty awesome how all this stuff, that's been going on and going on and going on and going on. The threats of war, the threats of nuclear war, the threats of spying, whatever, balloons, air balloons, weather balloons, satellites, on and on and on, even the fictitiousness of the whole perceivable idea of privacy. It's a joke. Nothing's private. It's a comedy. There's even technology, there's been technology that could see through the walls in your home and Soviet and so forth. So the only thing that's different is now it's coming up more, it's being exposed more, it's being brought into the limelight more, and it's being brought into as a group collective, mass collective global consciousness. It's being exposed and exposed and exposed and exposed, like the whole Putin and the Putinites, the China and the Chinanites, and all of these Canada, US, Arabia, South Arabia, South Africa, North Africa, Australia, and everywhere else. What is it? The England and the royal family, blah, 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 blah. It's more like the spoil family. All this stuff is coming out like never before. It's nothing new. It's been going on. It just hasn't been as obvious, which this is where we all want to sit back, give ourselves a major pat on the back, a giant hug and squeeze for becoming so aware, so awake, and even giving all humanity a major hug and a squeeze for becoming so aware and so awake that all this stuff that has been considered normal is now there's just no longer any hiding places. And this is happening. I mean, I don't care if it's communism or not, it's happening everywhere. And it's like the fearless leaders that are losing. You can only be a leader if you have a following. And dear ones are losing their following, and how blessed we are that the followers are starting to now take a breath, look up, look around, say, what the heck am I doing? And dear ones are really starting to wake up and starting step by step individually, slowly but surely, but it doesn't matter how fast or slow, dear ones are taking their power back. And, does it really matter that there's a balloon from China on the east coast of the US or scalar waves being sent from the US to China? I mean, to me, it's all the same. I mean, what is there to hide? If you don't have any secrets, you wouldn't care. I mean, because it's just like all this fictitious falsity. It's kind of like my private life. What private life? What happens when I just have one life? Because I only have one me. I'm who I am 24/7, everywhere. And it just has you sit with that and question that for yourself. What is there to hide? Do I have anything to hide? And then what part of the fictitiousness and pretense of a perception of a self is trying to hide it? I mean, wouldn't it be kind of ironic and quite humorous if everyone all of a sudden decided to take off all their costumes? No longer, there wouldn't be any fall colors anymore. Macy's would go out of business, and all those stores would, because now we're just letting it all hang out. And my reason for going there is that it's like so many dear ones buy costumes for whatever reason, but it's like, what happens when we don't require anything to hide behind? Now, the cool thing about that, when I bring this up and I use examples like this, it's like the whole idea here is to be totally stripped down with no barriers.
That leads into our last question. Dear William, is there a calling for everyone in 2023 to cleanse and purge our bodies? And how can we go about this fluidly?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a calling for everyone now. It's all based on where you're at on your own journey. For some, it's going to be all about purging the mental emotional. For others, they're already there and it's going to be all about purging the physical and detoxing. It's kind of funny, the whole idea around detoxing. You have to really question yourself, about detoxing. What are you really detoxing anyways? Because it all comes back to the same thing: toxic thoughts that create toxins in your system. Toxic thoughts that lead to you loving your body or not loving your body. Toxic thoughts that lead to giving your body sustenance that benefits it or not. So then, for those that are called, I would say doing the master cleanse with the salt water and the cayenne lemonade stuff, or doing the 5-day detox cleanse by 1-800-HERB-A-DOC by Richard Schultz. That one I do stand by. I've done it myself and it was amazing. And you start with intestinal formula 1 and formula 2. It's gentle, and then you go to potassium broth and liver, kidney, and everything else cleanses. But it's intense, but well worth it. I went through that when I got out of the wheelchair. Now, when I was still in massage school, and I would support that for everyone, because it's not just one thing or another. It's like the whole body. And when you start cleansing the body, of course, obviously, you're getting rid of layer after layer of debris. And it's kind of like the chicken or the egg, right? What came first? The debris in the body that led to lower vibratory level thoughts, or was it lower vibratory thoughts that led to density in the body? And it's kind of ironic, because I would say definitely the identification, so technically way back in the womb, and even incarnationally. But right now, you do the cleanse, stuff's going to come up for you. You're not going to be stuffing it with donuts or kale chips or whatever. You're going to see it, expose it, say goodbye to it, not turning a big giant job into it. You're purging and waving goodbye, and then filling it up with more and more of you.
Sweet, William. Well, thank you all for joining us. This is YouTube Live with William Linville. Join us next month, the first Tuesday of the month, where we'll be right here again at 4 p.m. Thanks, Will.
Love you. Namaste.
Love you all too.